Hello, I'm Hojo.
And I'm Hunzi.
And welcome to this, the 40th episode of Hojo and Hunzi's Hard Rock House, the safe space for old rock gumbies just like us, where I have been like Def Leppard riding into the sun this week, Hunzi. I've had my bike fixed for the start of the summer so I can get out. I haven't done it for 2 years. I know you like riding a bike, don't you?
Yes, I do like cycling. I do a bike ride to Download in June where it pisses down.
And I know you've been out on your bike as well, haven't you? I'm giving you a little way of plugging your latest venture.
My annual venture, I think.
Annual venture, sorry, yes.
I've started training in earnest.
Where's that? Just outside Bedford?
I do cycle through a place called Milton Ernest.
There you go, you see.
Yes, so training has begun for my annual epic cycle ride to Download Festival.
Okay, tell the single-digit listener what you do.
Well, some of them might have already noticed that I have put it out on our socials saying, please donate. Nobody has.
Oh, have you? You've cross-collateralised.
Actually, you know who has donated?
Who?
The lovely Danny Malone.
Has he?
Danny Malone saw my message on our socials.
And he donated from Diving for Pearls?
Yes. Nothing from Michael Coons yet, or Neil Carter.
No.
No, nothing from them. You've done the bike rides. You know how hard it is.
I do.
So for anybody who doesn't know or didn't see the post that I put up on our socials, I'm doing a bike ride from London to Download Festival over 2.5 days.
Who's headlining Download this year?
Oh, you'll be happy. Sleep Token are.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Headlining Download. Wow.
Yeah.
My favourite band?
Green Day.
Not my favourite band.
And somebody else. I can't remember who the Saturday are. But I think this probably gives you an indication of where the festival is going. So the two headliners when we arrive on the Friday, and I'm torn, Hojo. I'm torn about who I'm going to go and watch. Because I'm actually going to stay over this year on the Friday.
Why is that?
Just because I fancy it. I haven't done it for a couple of years. I stayed over a couple of years ago when Metallica played.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, they were brilliant.
Were they?
Yeah, it was fucking freezing though. So the Friday night headliners on the main stage are Green Day, as I mentioned.
Yeah, awful.
Well, the other headliners on the other stage, I haven't gone into it fully, but the one that stands out for me is McFly.
So Sleep Token and McFly now represents heavy metal in 2025. Rob Halford will be turning in, well, he's not in his grave, is he? But he'll be turning in something. That's not metal, is it? Whatever you think about it, it's not metal.
What, Sleep Token?
Yeah, that's not metal.
Well, it's not metal as we know it, is it? But it's metal to the new audience, isn't it?
And McFly's metal as well?
I think they're there for comedy value, aren't they? They're the sort of current modern-day version of when Bad News played on it.
Oh, okay, right, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, could be a bit of fun.
Could be. I prefer McFly to Green Day anytime.
Yeah.
I like his politics. Mr. Green Day. I can't remember his name.
Mr. Green Day, yeah.
I can't remember his name. But I like his politics because he's very anti-Trump.
Mm.
But their music's absolutely abominable.
I quite like some of it.
Do you? That pop punk thing was absolutely shit.
But some of it was featured in Kerrang, wasn't it?
Oh, lots of it, yeah. Kerrang used to do a lot about Green Day.
Yeah.
Not me.
And Sum 41.
Not me.
No.
I think you'll understand how I feel about rock music by the two people I've interviewed this week, neither of whom were in Green Day.
Before you do that, can I just promote my bike ride?
Yeah, go on.
So
where do they sign up to give you money like Danny Malone from Diving for Pearls?
Well, you go on our socials and I'll post the link on our socials. I'm using our socials to try and raise awareness of a bunch of people riding bikes about 190 miles to raise money for Teenage Cancer Trust, Save the Children, Childline and Nordoff Robbins, which are all children's charities.
Yeah, that is the main reason you're doing it, I remember.
Yes, so thank you. It's part of my corporate social responsibility.
Yeah.
If you go on our socials, I'll post the link. But if you don't want to donate to me and just want to donate to the group of people that are doing it, just go to heavymetaltruants.com and you'll read all about the last 12 years of bike rides. You might even see a picture of my glorious co-host wearing Lycra when he actually did do it. How many times did you do it? 2 or 3?
Oh, quite a few.
Find all the information on heavymetaltruants.com and I will post my personal link to my personal donation page on our socials. So if you do want to be like Danny Malone from Diving for Pearls, speaking of which, mention the names of the people from the world of rock that you've been interviewing this week.
So this week I was interviewing Philip Anselmo. That was interesting. We talked a lot about boxing. He loves boxing. He knows a lot as well. He started talking about the era of boxing when I was involved as a sports writer, my other sideline. And he knew all about Nigel Benn, the Dog Destroyer. Okay. And he knew about Chris Eubank. And I told stories about when I went to interview Chris Eubank and when my friend Steve Anglesey went to interview Nigel Benn, and they were very funny.
Go on, you've got to tell it.
Well, the Nigel Benn story was after Nigel had finished boxing and my friend Steve Anglesey went to interview him. And this might be libelous. He went to his house in Essex and Nigel Benn answered the door and he was chemically altered. At least that was Steve's opinion. And he took him down to his man cave.
Right.
And in his man cave, he had a set of curtains, and behind the curtains there were some DJ decks.
Right.
And he said, right, hang on, I've just got to go and do a mix. And he went behind the curtains and did a bit of wiki.
Right.
While at the same time, Steve was under the impression that he might have been doing something else as well.
Right, okay.
Then he came out very agitated.
Right, okay.
And very excitable.
Right, okay.
And then he said, anyway, I'm ready for the interview. Sit anywhere you like. And he had a brilliant chair that was in the shape of a boxing glove. If you imagine a boxing glove slightly curled, so the palm at the bottom of the boxing glove is the seat.
Yeah.
And the boxing glove itself is like the back of the seat.
Yeah.
He said he had that, which sounds like a brilliant thing, obviously.
Yeah,
you'd love to own one of those, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And he said, sit anywhere you like. And obviously Steve went, well, I'm clearly sitting in the boxing glove chair. And he made a move for the boxing glove chair. And he went, not there. And he wouldn't let him sit in the boxing glove seat. Oh. And then all the way through the interview, every 10 minutes he kept going, I'm just going to go and do a mix. And he went behind the curtain. Then came out more animated than before.
Well, maybe he was just excited about what mix he was doing.
Yeah. Has this got anything to do with heavy metal?
No, but it's just funny.
Yeah, it's good.
It's just funny.
So Philip Anselmo, massive fan of boxing, knew a lot about Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank.
Did he know a lot about heavy metal?
Yeah. He was very intense. He stood up for the whole interview. I don't think I've ever had that before. Stood up for the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah, very intense. And then my other interview in the last week, right at the other end of the spectrum, but equally entertaining, Dennis DeYoung from Styx. What a man. What a man, Dennis.
Have you interviewed him before?
Yes. Are you Team Dennis? Have we talked about this?
No, but I am Team Dennis.
Yeah, fuck the rest of Styx. Yeah. Team Dennis, all the way.
It's all about Dennis. Yeah.
The Manilow of metal. Which is a great term for him.
That is brilliant.
He was so brilliant and funny and interesting.
How old is he now?
Oh, he's about 82.
Wow.
Still, I don't know. I made that up. He's very old, whatever he is.
Still bright as a button. Got all his
yeah, he's got all the lemon drops.
Good.
He's naturally exuberant. And he's really funny. Because you'd expect the man who sang Babe, I'm leaving, and all that.
Yeah.
You'd expect him to be lovely and delicate, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
No. He's a foul-mouthed Chicago man.
Is he?
He talks like that. He says, fuck a lot. Really, really, really funny man.
So what's he up to now then?
Oh, he's not interested in music anymore, he told me.
Oh.
He doesn't have the urge. He's writing a book, though, all about his experiences in Styx.
Oh,
which I've got to read, because it'll be brilliant.
Is he writing it, or is he going?
Yeah, I think he'll be writing it. I don't think he'll be ghosting. I'll tell you what, that would be a brilliant gig for me.
Did you not
ghosting Dennis DeYoung's book?
Did you not offer?
No.
That was potentially your final pay packet.
I'm not good at the schmoozing. I don't even bother asking Dennis DeYoung if I can write his autobiography.
Haven't you got a brilliant story about when you were up for writing Keith Richards' book?
No, it wasn't Keith Richards.
Who was it?
Tour manager. Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to think what his name was now. This is terrible.
It's a brilliant.
I'm getting old, Hunter.
I know, but it was a brilliant story.
He had the name of a politician. Do you remember?
Yeah, go on.
Should I Google it?
Yeah, Google Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones.
What year was it? Was it sort of 80s?
No. When I went to see him.
Yeah.
I can. No, I can't tell you what it was because I thought I'd be able to say what it was because there's a poster in my office of the Bob Dylan gig I saw when I was there, and I went, "Oh, it'll tell me that," but then it just said Saturday, March the 6th. That doesn't help. Really, really annoying that I can't remember his name.
You've got to tell the story though.
Well, I went to Chicago on the pretense that he was going to write a tell-all autobiography about his time with the Stones. And I got to the backstage door. He was tour managing for Bob Dylan. at the time. And it would have been, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago, something like that. And he came out the back door and I introduced myself and said, oh, yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I knew you were coming here. Tell me a joke. And I just froze. Couldn't think of a joke. And I'd been in Chicago about 4 hours and I thought, this trip is completely wasted. I'm not going to get this gig now, am I? Because I couldn't tell him a joke.
And that was it?
No, he was really, really nice to me the whole time, but I never got the gig because he didn't write the book, actually. But I did think to myself, you'll never get that gig because you can't think on your feet. You're an idiot.
Okay. So I'm going to say to you now, tell me a joke.
What did Captain Pugwash say to his men before they got on the ship?
I don't know.
Get on the ship, men. There you go.
See, that's funny.
I should have told that one. I would have got the gig immediately.
I know. Never mind.
What have you been listening to this week? That's a lot of preamble. Before this show is over, I'm going to remember this man's name.
So what have I been listening to?
Yes.
I've been listening to another debut album.
Ah, okay. You like debut albums, don't you?
I do like debut albums because I think...
Why? It's because that's their best work because it's taken them 6 years to get that far and afterwards they have to scrabble to write an album in 6 months and it's never as good.
No, I think I like listening to debut albums because a lot of the time it's probably at that point when...
You are still speaking very quietly because your wife's in bed.
It's probably the point when...
Just so the single-digit listener knows why you're whispering. You're not taking influence from Bob Harris. It's your wife's in bed.
She is. She's asleep.
So you've got to speak quietly.
So I can't get too excited.
It's brilliant. It's like the old grey whistle test. Anyway, tell me what album you've been listening to today, Hansi. Anyway, while I was going through my collection the other day... Okay, yes. I think we should do the rest of the episode like this. Anyway, while I was going through my record collection...
A little reminder just popped up. I saw the spine, and I went, that's a spine I don't recognise. Yes. And I just pulled it out, and there it was. And I went, oh, yes, I remember this record, and I thought I've got to go back and listen to it. So
okay, so you went back and listened to it. I'm sorry, Mrs. Huns, if I'm waking you up by speaking normally. Wow, where was it?
Okay. So
you're really scared of your wife, aren't you? Same with my wife. If you disturb her while she's sleeping, oh.
Yeah, because she's got that knife down the side, you know.
Yeah. You would get stabbed, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably. Right, what have I been listening to? I've been listening to the debut album by a band from Australia. It came out in 1988. It's a forgotten
gem?
It is a forgotten gem.
Who is it?
Kings of the Sun.
Don't know anything about them.
Yeah, you do.
I don't. I know Rose Tattoo, AC/DC, The Angels, Midnight Oil, and the Hoodoo Gurus. And that's it.
No.
And The Church.
All right, okay.
That's all I know from Australia.
You must remember Kings of the Sun.
I really don't.
And I remember getting their debut album because my mate Big Gordon, who used to DJ at the rock clubs in Newcastle.
Big Gordon,
lovely fella.
Jim Callahan. There it is. I told you I'd remember his name.
That was the Rolling Stones tour manager.
Yeah, just as an interjection. Anyway, back to Kings of the Sun.
Fucking hell. You've just completely thrown me. Yeah, so Kings... I was talking about my mate Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
I remember he started playing a track by them.
What was it called?
Serpentine. They were signed to RCA.
Right. Graveyard of all rock bands.
Mainly
because Dave Shack worked there.
Yeah. What was the Dave Shack thing that he does in a Yorkshire accent that we did the other week?
I cannot the crime.
Because Dave Shack does the bike rides, right? So when I'm on the bike ride with him at the end of day one, I'll say, Shacky, have you heard our podcast? I think you'll find he's Iron Maiden's...
I think you'll find he's very high up in Iron Maiden's management structure.
Yeah. He goes and gets Roddy's fags.
Exactly. 100,000 a year for going and getting someone some fags. Not bad.
So they were on RCA, graveyard of many a rock band. I think at the time, RCA, they signed them on the back of, this lot good. But then they kind of...
Have you worked in A&R? That is how it goes.
I could have done. But instead of promoting them properly, I think they put a load of money into Lita Ford.
It's the classic line from all bands that fail. Lamentable promotion from the record company.
Yeah.
Never the fact that people didn't like your songs.
I think RCA spent a lot of money on Lita Ford.
And none on Kings of the Sun.
No, it didn't really do well. But the first track, Serpentine, it's just brilliant. It starts off sort of really slow, like a very sort of bluesy country, let me tell you a story.
Okay, right.
And then the whole album is what you'd imagine from an Australian rock band. It's very dirty. It's very southern rock. Blues.
Why would that be Australian, southern rock?
I can't think of an Australian metal band.
You don't think AC/DC are a metal band?
No, they're a hard rock band.
Oh, okay, right.
They're not a heavy metal band. Are we going to get into this argument about hard? No,
we're definitely not. Sleep Token, they're heavy metal.
God, right. Okay. I would describe this album as if John Mellencamp rocked up more.
Okay, right, yeah, that's interesting.
It's that sort of vibe.
Right.
It's great singer, drummer.
What's his name, do you know?
Well, there's brothers. The brothers Clifford and Jeffrey Hode.
Those are good names.
Yeah.
Would you like to be called Clifford Hode? I would.
It's a brilliant name. So
much better than our names.
Yeah, so Clifford was the drummer. And
right. Jeffrey was the singer. Should have been the other way round, shouldn't it?
Why?
Well, Clifford's much more of a frontman, isn't he, than Jeffrey?
Would you shorten it to Cliff? Cliff Hode?
No, Clifford. Keep it. Do you not think he'd be a much better frontman if you went, on vocals, Clifford Hode? I'd be interested. Jeffrey Hode, not so much.
Do you think Cliff Williams of AC/DC was originally called Clifford?
I'd like him to have been.
Clifford Williams.
Cliff's boring, isn't it? It's like Cliff Richard.
Yeah. So Clifford was the drummer.
Yeah.
And if you go back and watch some of their videos, what a drummer, man. I've read a little bit about him and his big hero was Keith Moon. Absolutely brilliant. Singer's really good. Band look good. They're not glam. Jeans, T-shirts. Some of them had long hair, some of them didn't. The singer was quite pretty, long blonde hair.
Jeffrey.
It's a really good debut album. If you like that southern rock, blues rock, John Mellencamp type vibe with a little bit of an edge, a little bit harder, I think you'd like it.
Kings of the Sun. I'm going to have a listen.
Lots of stories about what happened to them afterwards.
What did happen to them? Nothing much.
They've made quite a few albums.
Oh, really? So they made a lot of records?
Well, they made 3 studio albums. They broke up in 2009. The brothers fell out.
Oh, no!
Yeah. Clifford then went and formed Clifford Hode's Kings of the Sun.
And did he have Jeffrey Hode's Kings of the Sun as well?
No, Jeffrey then went back and he resumed the band that they were originally in called Rich and Famous.
Are they still making music, Humsy?
Clifford, I think as recent as 2024. I think he had a...
heart attack?
Cardiac arrest, yeah.
Oh, really? I just said that being stupid. And he really did. Oh,
yeah, he did. But he's fine. He's made it back.
Fantastic news. Is he back behind the kit?
I don't think he's back behind the kicks. It was only last year. I think it's
that's a shame.
But
we wish him well.
Absolutely. I think he was planning on releasing before that a couple of solo albums and all that sort of stuff before he had the cardiac arrest. You
know when I said you've worked in A&R, the way you said, yeah, he's got a couple of solo albums down the back of the sofa. Well, I'm into Clifford now. You've sold me on Clifford.
Go and listen to them. I genuinely think you will like this record. They're not game-changing, they're not life-changing, but they're in your wheelhouse, boogie, rock, with a bit of a swagger and a bit of a swing. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
And I want to thank Gordon for playing it all those many years ago.
Well done, Gordon.
I'll put the video up on our socials.
Right.
So what have you been listening to?
Well, on the back of me telling you who I've been interviewing, there was only one choice. I've been listening to Equinox by Styx. Okay. Equinox is a funny choice, though, isn't it? It wouldn't be the first record you'd go to. What would be your first Styx record to go and listen to?
Oh, that is a killer question.
Not the one with Mr. Roboto on, whatever that was called. Sorry, Dennis, I tuned out after that. I was a massive Styx fan. That was too much for me.
Did you ever see them?
No, I never seen them live. Interviewed JY, interviewed Dennis many times.
Yeah.
But no, never saw them live. Great regret.
Did they play much over here?
Not really. They were making too much money in America. Well, why would you bother?
Yeah, bigger territory.
Piddling little country go. Who cares? Who cares? I'll stay here where the big bucks are. Anyway, your favourite Styx album. Come on.
So Equinox was their 4th, was it? Or their 5th?
5th. You still haven't told me what your favourite Styx album is.
Probably 1977's Grand Illusion.
Grand Illusion. That's Dennis's favourite.
Well, there you go. Me and Dennis are in there.
Yeah, you like that. Brilliant record. Grand Illusion. What I love about Styx is they're so unashamedly pompous, aren't they?
Yeah.
When I was pounding the miles out in the gym yesterday, I played the Grand Illusion. It's a ridiculous and brilliant record all at one time.
Yeah, well, it's got Come Sail Away on it, hasn't it? So.
Come Sail Away is magnificent. But what, my favourite song, we're not even talking about Equinox yet. We'll get to it. My favourite song on the Grand Illusion, Superstar.
Oh, that's a great song.
What a ridiculously pompous and brilliant song.
Yeah. Pompous is a really good word to describe Styx, isn't it?
They were the kings of pomp rock, weren't they? I don't think there was a band that was more pomp than Styx.
Were Angel pomp?
Yeah, a bit pompy. Well, certainly pomp prior to them going pop. They were pop pomp, weren't they?
Pop pop.
Or pomp pop.
Pop pop.
It's a good job I've got that little thing in front of my microphone to stop it going pump, pump, pump.
Yeah.
Pomp pop.
There's some brilliant songs on that.
So the reason I was listening to Equinox is I was talking to Dennis because it's 50 years since Equinox was recorded. Can you believe that?
1975.
Yeah, that makes me feel very old. But when it was recorded, I was a mere 11 years old, so I don't remember this album. I hooked my Charabang up to Styx with Pieces of Eight in 1978 when I was 14. One of the first rock bands that I really liked.
Wasn't Equinox the first album they did with Tommy Shaw?
No, it was the last album they did with John Kurolewski. This was JC's last album, but their first album for A&M. They'd been on a, what Dennis called us, I can't remember what he said, but it was something along the lines of a piss pot label called Wooden Nickel. And they finally got a hit away with the song Lady, and then they got signed to A&M. So Equinox was their first album for A&M. Went gold as well.
Why did JC leave, do you know?
Well, he said, I'm keeping that for the book. So he wouldn't tell me exactly. But the Wikipedia entry, which is a big euphemism, I think, said he left to spend time with his family. I think it's not the truth, though, do you?
All right, okay. Maybe he was spending time with Nigel Benn behind a curtain.
It's quite possible. So, yeah, it was JC's last album.
All right, okay.
First for A&M, December 1975 it was released. The first album, according to Dennis, where Styx had gone, we've worked out who we are. He said most of the stuff on those Wooden Nickel albums were just straightforward American rock. And Equinox was the one where they went, no, hold on, we're pompous. And we're going to be proudly pompous. It's a brilliant mix, isn't it? Because as Dennis himself said, he didn't know the first thing about rock. I was an accordion player, goddammit. Which is why he didn't know anything about rock. But his brilliant vaudeville theatrical style mixed brilliantly with JY's rock tendencies, didn't it?
Yeah.
And of course, it's got Sweet Madam Blue on this album. How brilliant is that track?
Yeah, it's the last track. It's a long track, isn't it?
Sweet Madam Blue, there in the looking glass, you're not a child anymore. In no way is it theatrical.
Straight from the West End.
Very much from the West End, yeah. He would have been brilliant, actually, wouldn't he? Writing musicals. He would have been much better than those dudes out of ABBA.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't done it, actually.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well. I would have thought that he would be absolutely made for He's probably done it, hasn't he?
Yeah, hold on.
We just don't know.
I'm just going to cough.
That's good.
Arseholes. It's too early in the morning. I need to cough up my guts every morning.
That's bound to have woken your missus up.
She'll be awake now.
Will she be playing Equinox?
No, but what I'll do is when I go upstairs with a cup of tea after we've finished recording, I'll just go, Alexa, play Equinox by Styx.
It's the first record where Styx really defined their sound. If you like Unashamedly Pompous, go and listen to this record. First track, Light Up. It's another of these, you know, David Bowie, A Lad Insane?
Yes.
When I went, I didn't realise that it meant a lad
insane.
For years and years, I just thought, oh, A Lad Insane, that's his name. It was another A Lad Insane moment because first track on Equinox is called Light Up.
Right.
And it was only when I was talking to Dennis that I realised it was about smoking a joint.
Right.
I'd never thought of it before. I don't know what I thought it was. I just thought light up. Okay, I don't know. Whatever.
We'd normally say skin up, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would. He said that was about smoking a joint, but you couldn't say that in 1975. And I went, fuck me, I've never thought of that before.
Oh, there you go.
So as much as you might have thought they were mainstream nice boys, Styx, deviants.
Pompous deviants.
Pompous deviants. And very much worth a listen. Maybe not music for every day of your life, but when the mood takes you.
So are you saying that this was their sound-defying album?
They found themselves on Equinox. And then it got great, you know, Grand Illusion, as you say.
Yeah.
Pieces of Eight, brilliant. For me, those three records define Styx. Equinox, Grand Illusion, Pieces of Eight.
What about Crystal Ball?
Oh, I forgot about Crystal Ball. That came after Equinox, didn't it? You're right. I can't remember what's on Crystal Ball, to be honest with you. I must go and listen to that. I haven't listened to it.
I haven't listened to it for years. But it was the first album with Tommy Shaw then, wasn't it?
It would have been, yeah. But anyway, it was a brilliant couple of hours I spent with Dennis. I love Dennis DeYoung. He's fantastic. And my listening to Equinox is a tribute to him and how much he makes me laugh.
I might go back and listen to that. When I'm pottering around the house this morning,
Do play it when you take a cup of tea up to Mrs. Hunt. It's not sex music, is it, Stick?
No.
No, very much not.
Does Mother Johnson agree that it's sex music?
Oh, no, she's not keen on Sticks. She likes Babe, actually.
Does that soften the territory?
I don't know, but I'm going to try it.
Is she still asleep upstairs?
She's still asleep, but she's far enough away that I can say this thing without getting a frying pan wrapped around my head.
So after the end of this podcast, we're both going to go upstairs.
Yeah, well, we'll both take a cup of tea up and pretend we've not been saying awful things about our wives. We've been saying awful things about our wives.
Yeah, we'll take a cup of tea and try and
take a cup of tea
and try and soften the territory.
Right, there you go. There's a whole episode already in the can.
It was good. So Kings of the Sun, my bike ride.
Sticks' Equinox, me remembering he's called Jim Callahan.
Yeah, Dave Shack going to get Rod Smallwood.
It's been a good episode.
It's been really good.
There you go. Right, we'll have no friends this time next week.
No, cancelled. I've kicked off the bike ride.
Yeah, never mind. That'll be a blessing, really.
Yeah.
All right, mister.
Okay, speak to you next week.
Speak to you next week.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.